Crash here, bringing you guys another exciting video. Now, ladies and gentlemen, before we go underway any further here with this video, I need to make a very important disclaimer to say that this video is going to be containing some rumors for Pokemon Sword and Shield, so please take what we are going to be talking about here with a pinch of salt, as none of this is confirmed. Now, with that being said, we have ourselves the Pokemon Direct just around the corner. It's going to be taking place next week. I'm really excited, so I figured, you know, what a good way to keep the hype going than to do a video like this for you guys. So with that being said, please be sure to leave a like and a comment down below if you dig this video, and let's get into some leak rumor discussions for Pokemon Sword and Shield, because we have ourselves potentially the full Pokedex revealed. So let's get into the details here. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so what it is we got going on here, we have ourselves, I guess you could say, the better and more colorful, more organized version here of the leaked Pokedex. I will link you guys to the sources down below, so that way you guys can see what this here is based off of. So, first things first, we have ourselves Meltan and Melmetal, which are both going to be before the starters here. We haven't had a mythical Pokemon featured in the Pokedex like this before the starters since Victini of Generation 5. So this right here kind of brings me back to Generation 5 here a little bit. But anyways, guys, it showcases here that we have Meltan and Melmetal in the Galar Pokedex as entries 808 and 809. So coming up next, we have ourselves Grookey, as we all know, is the first stage grass starter. We have ourselves its evolved form known as Trumpan, which is going to remain as a pure grass type. And we have ourselves Chimpongo, which also is going to remain as a pure grass type. Now, to be perfectly honest with you, if they actually did this, I'd be a little bit disappointed, because the fact is, right, is that it would absolutely be imperative for a grass Pokemon to have like a dual typing in order for it to be like even better than what it is. Like, I could picture it being something like a grass fighting, or maybe a grass rock or something like that. Maybe even a grass psychic, because if you guys remember back to the initial trailer where Pokemon Sword and Shield was released, you would see that it tapped a stick into the grass to actually, you know, heal it a little bit. So I mean, when I think of healing properties, I think of either Psychic or even Fairy, you know what I'm saying? So it would make sense if Chimpongo, you know, got like a secondary typing, but in this case here it doesn't. Let's just hope that it doesn't actually become true, because I would be thoroughly disappointed. So next up here, we have ourselves Scorbunny, which we all know is a pure fire. We have Hopire, which is also going to be a pure fire. And we have ourselves Moltear, which is going to be fire steel. Now, this right here, okay, I would be really, really hyped if they actually did this for Moltear. In other words, like this right here would be a Gen 8 version of Heatran, you know what I'm saying? Because Heatran, as far as I know, is the only Pokemon that has access to the Fire and Steel typing. So I would welcome this with open arms if this was the case for Scorbunny's final evolve form, you know what I'm saying? So coming up next, we have ourselves Sobble, as we all know, is a pure water type. We have ourselves Nerviz, which is going to be a water ghost, and we have ourselves Fearless, which is going to be a water ghost as well. And man, oh man alive, if they did this, I would be overjoyed, because we haven't had a water ghost Pokemon since, I believe, Jellicent in Gen 5. So, I mean, it would be a long overdue to have a good typing like this for another Pokemon, in my opinion. But with that said, let's keep going. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's scroll a little bit here. So, we have ourselves Joypoo, and we have ourselves Felutra. I think that's how you pronounce the name, which is the evolved form of Joypoo. So, this right here evidently is going to be the Gen 8 rodent Pokemon here. We also have ourselves Weesense, which is going to be a Psychic Weasel Pokemon here. We have ourselves Ibrisk. We have Gale. I don't exactly know how to pronounce that name. I most likely got that wrong, right? But we also have ourselves Bruceros here, which is going to be the final evolved form of Ibrisk. So, this right here is most likely going to be the Gen 8 regional bird Pokemon here. Now, get this, ladies and gentlemen. We have ourselves Twinkape, which is going to be the electric normal type, and then it evolves into Gorillite and Illuminape, which are both electric psychic. Dude, what? That would be absolutely amazing, you know? That would be the first time any Pokemon has sported that typing, and I would honestly be really, really thrilled if they did something like that. Plus, you know what? Honestly, it's like, I'm just a big fan of you know, Primates Pokemon, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a fan of Passimian, I'm a fan of Oranguru, I'm a fan of Primeape, all that stuff. You know, the Simi trio being Simipour, Simisage, and Simisear, you know? Like, I love monkeys slash Primate Pokemon. They are absolutely adorable, you know what I'm saying? But let's keep on going here, because next up here, we have ourselves Geofin, which is going to be the Water Dark Dolphin Pokemon. We got Kudum, which is going to be the Psychic Vacuum. So, yay! We have ourselves an inanimate object here for a Pokemon. I mean, honestly, I'm not going to hate on it because, as far as I know, could be the absolute best Pokemon that we've ever gotten, you know, ever. Or at least as far as Gen 8 goes, because I wouldn't say ever because, well, the likes of Aegislash, Mega Metagross, and Golisopod would like to have a word with you. So, next up here, we have ourselves Cheetorch and Hita, which are both going to be Fire-type Cheetah Pokemon. And we have our... Oh, now this right here, when I seen this, I was very, very intrigued, because we have ourselves G-Cold, we have Iguanice, and last but not least, we have ourselves Fremodo, which are all going to be Ice Dragons. We haven't had a type combination like that since Kyurem from Generation 5. And fun fact, ladies and gentlemen, is that this Pokemon right here, historically, would be the first non-legendary Pokemon to garner this typing, which I am very, very much looking forward to, you know what I'm saying? So next up, ladies and gentlemen, we have ourselves Spiceseed, which is going to be a fire grass type, baby. Woo! I am so pumped! And its evolved form, Peppery, is also known as a fire grass. We have them being chili pepper. Well, this one's a hot seed, and this one's chili pepper, you know? I mean, this would just be absolutely fantastic. Finally, we would get the long-awaited type combination of fire and grass. I would be very, very hyped if they did something like this, you know what I'm saying? So next up, we have ourselves Trialmation, which is going to be a normal type. We have ourselves Nightmite and Blato Dusk, which evolves from Nightmite, both of which are going to be Bug and Dark, which I believe also is a first-time type combination, because I can't think of any Pokemon of that type combination off the top of my head, so do correct me if I am wrong, but this I know for a fact I'm not wrong, because we have Vagel, which is Fairy and Poison. We have never had a typing like that before. Now that would be absolutely amazing. So next up, ladies and gentlemen, we got Minobi, which is going to be a fighting type. And get this, ladies and gentlemen, we got Ninjula and Fluid Ninja, which are both split evolutions from Minobi. Ninjula is going to be fighting an Electric, another first-time type combination. To be honest with you, it really should have gone to Electivire, because I love Electivire, and it just makes sense, alright? But we have ourselves Fluid Ninja garnering the fighting and water typing, which, if I'm not mistaken, only Poliwrath has access to this typing, and also Keldeo too. So, I mean, this is a pretty rare typing, so I would be very, very, very intrigued if they did do something like this. So, coming up next, we have ourselves Tokoloco, which is going to be a Ghost normal type. Another candidate for a first-time type combination, because we have never had a Pokemon of that typing before. So next up, ladies and gentlemen, we have ourselves Dowdeer and Ragadeer. Now, Dowdeer is a normal type, and Ragadeer is normal grass. So, I'm kind of sensing some Gen 5 version of Sawsbucks here, you know, like, I'm kind of getting that feel, because the only other Pokemon that has had this typing is a deer Pokemon itself known as Sawsbuck. Well, it's technically a buck, but the thing is, right, is that these two Pokemon, in my opinion, are going to be very, very similar. So, next up, we have ourselves Musanda, which is going to be an Electric Ice Rodent here. So, perhaps a Gen 8 version of Pikachu? I'm not entirely sure about that. But next up, we have ourselves Glumink, which is going to be Poison Normal, another first-time type combination up in this. And we have ourselves Fumink, which is going to be Poison Ghost. We haven't had a Pokemon of that typing since Gengar of Generation 1. So this is, without a shadow of a doubt, a very, very rare typing. So next up, we have ourselves Frugon here, which is going to be Grass and Dragon, and it's tropical, so I guess it's like a fruit dragon or something like that. Next up, we have ourselves Kabukado, which is going to be a Fruit Cat Grass type, and Guaguire, which is going to be Grass and Dark. So, yeah, pretty interesting stuff so far. So next up we have ourselves Salmon, which is going to be a water grass herbfish Pokemon, which I find to be pretty interesting. So here's the thing, guys. We have ourselves Quakeon, which is going to be a ground type evolution, baby. Are you kidding me? What? Oh man, that would just be absolutely fantastic if they did do something like this. But guys, we also have ourselves Titanion, which is going to be the Steel evolution up in this. Oh my god, that would just be so great. That would be so great if they implemented this here in Pokemon Sword and Shield, just bar none. I would be hyped. Take my damn money. I want my evolutions, you know? So coming up next, we have ourselves Crocodrip, which is going to be Rock and Water, and we have ourselves its evolved form known as Crocodice, and Chop-O-Dial, both of which are going to be Water Steel types. Now, we haven't had a Water Steel type Pokemon since Empoleon of Generation 4, so I mean, I have been dying to have a Pokemon of this typing, so I mean, if this right here was the case, in combination with the fact that crocodiles naturally are cool as hell reptiles, this right here would be a candidate for a very, very, very badass Pokemon right here, you know? So, coming up next, we have ourselves Magnifly and Flycroscope. What? So, we have a Bug Psychic Pokemon that, I guess is flying microscope with bug wings or something like that. I don't even know, man. I really, really don't even know, like, how to feel about that, honestly. So next up, we have ourselves Drippo and Hippor, both of which are going to be water hippopotamuses, so I'm definitely sensing some water-type version of Hippowdon vibes up in this. Who knows? Who knows? I wonder if it's going to be as good as Hippowdon, though. That would be pretty sweet. So, coming up next, guys, we have ourselves Blimpala, which is going to be Fairy and Flying, and I believe the only other Pokemon that has access to that typing would be Togekiss, so it's going to be a pretty interesting typing to say the least. And look at this, guys, we have TN Tiny. Even, like, look at that, even TNT is enlarged. That is just great. And it's going to be a Rock and Fire, and we also have ourselves Dynamite, which also is Rock and Fire and evolves from TN Tiny. And next up, guys, we have ourselves Berkey and Flurkey. So, both of which are going to be Fire and Flying. And just, I can't get over these names, though. Berkey and Flurkey. But anyways, guys, coming up next, we have ourselves Ant-Nat, which is going to be a bug flying type. We also have ourselves Bequency, which is going to be a bug flying as well. Evolves from Ant-Nat as well. So that's going to be pretty cool. But here's the thing, guys. You want to talk about coolness up in this. Check this out. We got Utensil and we got Cutler Reap, both of which are Ghost Steel types, man. That's just going to be fantastic. Oh my god, I cannot wait. Like, I love this typing. And it's such an efficient defensive typing, too. I mean, look at Aegislash. Aegislash is like one of the very, very best. I mean, it always gets banned by Smogon, so I mean, like, the Ghost of Steel typing with its stats and all that stuff, I would love to see another Ghost of Steel Pokemon and, you know, have it be just like something like crazy based, you know? That'd be pretty cool, you know? So, coming up next, we have ourselves Decoy, which is going to be a Water Dark. We have Burl and Bless Mine, both of which are going to be ground and fighting, which is going to be very, very awesome because we've never had that typing before as well. So next up, we have ourselves Spectoplas, which is going to be Ghost and Psychic, and I believe that's going to be the first non-legendary Pokemon to have this typing, because I say non-legendary because Hoopa is, of course, Ghost and Psychic, and Hoopa Unbound is Psychic and Dark. So, coming up next, guys, we have ourselves Amphibur, we have ourselves Scoundrog, and Frog. Now, these three Pokemon rock the Dark Poison typing, which is absolutely amazing. I love that typing. It's so good defensively. You're only weak to ground-type moves, man. Like, that is ridiculous. That is just absolutely amazing, right? So, I would absolutely love to see more Dark and Poison. That's not to mention Frog. Just sounds absolutely badass, if you ask me, man. But with that being said, moving forward, we have ourselves a Babool and a Buffalote, both of which are going to be Water-type Buffalo Pokemon. So, really, really interesting here. We have ourselves another Buffalo Pokemon here. And with that said, next up we have ourselves Twin Sprout, which is going to be Grass Fairy, and then Javine and Pansalog are going to be its evolved forms with Grass Fairy as well. So next up, we have ourselves Snowmad, we got Shermit, and we have ourselves Ice Tick, all of which are going to be pure ice types and evolved forms of one another. And I gotta say, like, I'm really interested to see what design Ice Tick is going to be, because it sounds like it's going to be, sounds like it's going to have, like, some sort of bug properties to it, you know? Not bug type properties, but, like, kind of like in terms of design, it's going to be probably in the shape of a bug. So I think that'd be pretty cool. It honestly would make sense to add bug typing to it if that was going to be the case. But then again, we have ourselves a Drapion, which doesn't have the bug typing to it, yet it's a freaking Scorpion, you know what I'm saying? So next up, guys, we have ourselves Pixaron, and we have ourselves Ferreath, both of which are going to be Fairy-type Pokemon, and Ferreath is the evolved form of Pixaron, so that's pretty cool as well. So, next up here, we have ourselves Cobez, which is going to be a pure steel. We have ourselves Titaniquist, which is going to also be pure steel. And then, guys, check this out. We have ourselves a split evolution. We have Zebraloy. I really love that name, by the way. Very clever, you know, combining Zebra and Alloy to each other. It's going to be the evolved form of Titaniquist with steel and rock. And then we have ourselves Zebrode with steel electric, also evolving from Titaniquist. So, yeah, we have ourselves another split evolution. That's pretty awesome, man. So, next up, ladies and gentlemen, we have ourselves Larvibe, we have ourselves Swagot, and we have ourselves Blinksec. So, I gotta say, I also really love these names as well. Like, Larvibe, you know, it's the combination of larva and vibes. We have ourselves Swagot here, which is the combination of swagger and maggot. And we also have ourselves Blinksec, which is going to be the combination of, you know, Bling Bling and Insect. And get this, these two Pokemon are going to be Bug and Ice. So that is going to be another first-time type combination right there, man. That's just absolutely amazing. So next up, guys, we have ourselves Bracool, which is going to be a grass-ice type. We have ourselves a Camould, which is going to be ground. We have a Seraph or Carafe. However it's pronounced, it's also going to be ground and the evolved form of Camould as well. So next up, guys, we have ourselves another Ghost Normal Pokemon coming in the form of Lamoflage and Ramuflage, which is the evolved form. And like I said, they're normal Ghost, which, oh buddy, it just looks absolutely amazing, you know? And here's the thing, Ghost and Normal only have one weakness, that being to Dark, so how cool is that? So ladies and gentlemen, let's keep on going, because coming up next we have ourselves Sprink, which is going to be a rock steel type. We have ourselves Skull or Skoil, which is going to be also rock and steel. And I gotta say, you know, pretty cool typing defensively, although you get absolutely annihilated by ground and fighting type Pokemon, both of which you're 4 times weak against, you know what I'm saying? So next up we have ourselves Sparkion and Sparkastodon. Holy shit! That name though, man, that's a badass sounding name if you ask me. So with that said, you know, it's going to be a rock and electric. Now, aside from Alolan Golem, we don't have any other Pokemon of that typing, you know? So this right here is going to be absolutely fantastic of a typing to have. And guys, speaking of fantastic, you guys are going to lose your shit over this. Because, ladies and gentlemen, and now we get into a list of Pokemon from past generations that's gonna get evolutions, baby. Oh, here we go. So we have ourselves a Graboon, which is going to be a pure fighting type, and it's going to be the evolved form of Passimian, man. I didn't think Passimian would need an evolution, man. Like, it's a ridiculous Pokemon as is. Crazy moves, crazy stats, crazy design, and crazy ability in Defiant. I mean, come on, like, having it have an evolved form, that would be absolute bananas, you know, no pun intended, because, you know, Passimian, it's a simian, and, you know, monkeys love eating bananas sometimes. But here's the thing, coming up next, we have ourselves the long-awaited evolution of Dunsparce, known as Dunsprite, which is going to be normal fairy type, man. Woo! And here's the thing, man, is that there have been so many people, myself included sometimes, that just absolutely wished for Dunsparce to get some love, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, like, for it to have an evolution, that would be absolutely amazing. But up next, ladies and gentlemen, we have ourselves Kurachnid, and this right here is going to be electric and bug, and it's going to be the evolved form of Galvantula. Another Pokemon that I didn't think needed an evolution or was capable of an evolution, but hey, you know what? I'm open-minded, man, and keep in mind, Galvantula is a pretty cool Pokemon, also pretty lethal as well, with Compound Eyes, Boosted Thunder, and also having Sticky Webs, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, Arachnid is going to be a more buffed up version of Galvantula. Oh my god, I'm so excited. So, coming up next, guys, we have ourselves Swana's evolution known as Goosh, which is going to be a water flying type. And we also have ourselves Love Disc getting an evolution, coming in the form of Infatuev, which is going to give it a water fairy typing. And I just gotta say, like, Love Disc getting an evolution, I mean, Love Disc is a very forgettable Pokemon in terms of battling and stuff, but for it to have an evolution, like, I'm sure that's going to make the Love Disc line very, very relevant again. And also is going to give Alomomola a run for its money as well, because we all thought at the beginning that Alomomola was going to be the Love Disc evolution that we had so long since desired for, but turns out it wasn't the case, right? So, next up, guys, we have ourselves a Tuskord, which is going to be Donphan's evolution, going to be a pure ground type. We have ourselves Marveline, which is going to be Meowstic's evolution. It's going to also remain as a pure psychic type. We have ourselves Sangurutang, which is going to be normal and psychic, and Oranguru's evolution. So, yeah, another Pokemon that I didn't think needed access to evolution, but hey, as it turns out, that's what's gonna happen, I guess. Holy cow. So, next up, guys, we have ourselves Gorgon, which is going to be Dragon and Ghost, and it's going to be Druddigan's evolved form, too. What? Oh, man, now that would be absolutely amazing if Druddigan got an evolved form, because it's got such a cool design, but, like, people tend to forget about it in battle, because when you compare it to its Gen 5 Dragon Brethren being Haxorus and even Hydreigon, Druddigan is going to be often forgettable, right? But also keep in mind, Dragon and Ghost, we have not seen a Pokemon with that typing outside of Giratina. So this right here is going to be the first ever non-legendary Dragon Ghost Pokemon, should this come true. So next up, ladies and gentlemen, let's just scroll down here a little bit and take a look at this. We have ourselves Pandominate, which is going to be the evolved form of Pangoro. Oh, man. That is going to be absolutely bonkers right there. It's also going to be a fighting and dark type, to keep to its typing tradition and all that stuff. And next up, we have ourselves Bascarap, which is going to be the evolved form of Basculin right here with a water and steel typing. Oh, get out, man. That's going to be great. I'm excited for that, So next up, we have ourselves Climate, which is going to be the evolved form of Castform, man. Finally! Castform is not going to be so forgettable because it's going to get an evolution, man. So next up, we have ourselves Napate, which is going to be the evolved form of Arbok. Holy shit, that's going to be great. And what's even greater about this is that it's going to get a poison dark typing, which is just, that's going to be absolutely bananas. Like, I'm really, really excited about that, man. It's just going to be so great. So, next up, we have ourselves a Fuming, which is going to be the evolved form of Weezing with the first time type combination of Poison and Fire. Now, here's the thing, is that does leave it with a 4 times ground weakness, but here's the thing, is that if it does keep the ability Levitate, aside from Mold Breaker, you don't have anything to worry about, man. So that right there is going to be fantastic as well. So, next up here, this is an interesting one. We have ourselves Riwap, which is going to be the evolved form of Rotom. Okay, I mean, here's the thing, is that Rotom has 5 forms, all of which have a higher base stat total compared to Rotom's original form. So is this going to be another form, or is this going to be a legitimate, like, separate evolution or something like that? Like, I don't know. But it's going to have the Electric Ghost typing, which I think is a really damn cool typing. So next up, guys, we have ourselves Fugasis, which is going to be the evolved form of Rapidash here with the fire and flying typing. Now, get this, right, is that we have ourselves Sumongus, which is going to remain a pure fighting type, the evolved form of Hariyama. Oh my god. That right there is just absolutely amazing. Like, I love Hariyama, Hariyama in battle, and also in Pokemon Go as well, both of which are absolutely amazing. So, having Hariyama get access to an evolution form, That's going to be amazing. And not to mention also, you know, Eevee Hariyama is going to be a thing if this is the case, which is just... Oh, that's gonna be nasty, man. That's gonna be some nasty stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, coming up next, last but not least, we have ourselves Heliozard, which is going to be the Electric Dragon type Pokemon and the evolved form of Heliolisk. Oh my god, that's gonna be so great. I'm so excited. Like, if this is the case right here, if we're having all of these past Pokemon getting access to evolutions, that's going to be something to see right there. That's going to be something to monumentally look forward to. Alright, so moving forward, ladies and gentlemen, we have ourselves the next Dex entry known as Shavity, which is going to be normal steel type, another first time type combination, but you're going to be 4 times weak to ground, my man. You're going to be 4 times weak to ground. And it has an evolution known as Granther, which is also going to be normal and steel. So coming up next, guys, we have ourselves a Belugold, which is going to be a Beluga Whale Pokemon, baby. Woo! I am so excited about this because I've always wanted to have a Beluga Whale Pokemon, and it looks like now we're going to get our wish. It's going to be a nice water-ice typing. And we haven't had a typing like that since the likes of Lapras and Cloyster, so I'm really excited about this typing, you know what I'm saying? So, next up here, we have ourselves Tatero, which is going to be a Spud Pokemon. Normal grass. Okay, like, I'm really intrigued about this one here. So, next up, we have ourselves Brixie, which is going to be Rock Fairy. We got Pebimp, I think that's it is. Pebimp, I think that's how you pronounce it. It's also going to be Rock and Fairy. And then we have ourselves Bruckpuck, which is going to be Rock and Fairy as well. So, we have ourselves a 3-stage evolutionary line, and we're towards the end of the Pokedex. So, normally, that's when we start putting 2 and 2 together, that perhaps, maybe, this could be the pseudo-legendary of the Galar region, because, normally speaking, when it comes to pseudo-legendary Pokemon, they come in the form of a 3-stage evolution Pokemon, and also, they're towards the end of the Pokedex, right? So, this right here could very well be the Gen 8 version of a pseudo-legendary Pokemon, and Rock and Fairy, you know, we haven't seen a typing like that since Diancie, and also since Carbink, so this is going to be a very cool typing in my opinion. But here's the thing, guys, is that we have ourselves Babos, which is a pure grass type, we have Groomild, which is also a grass type, it's a tree, and we have ourselves Boaboom, which is a big tree, it's a grass ground type, and also, this Pokemon here is a 3-stage evolution, so I wonder if this also is a pseudo-legendary Pokemon as well. And also keep in mind, we have had multiple pseudo-legendary Pokemon introduced in a single generation before. Look at Generation 3, we had Salamence and Metagross, right? 2 pseudo-legendary Pokemon, so it wouldn't surprise me one single bit if Game Freak was to add in more than one pseudo-evolutionary line. I mean, that's just my opinion, but let me know what you guys think about that. So now, ladies and gentlemen, we move on to what I believe the remainder of the list are going to be legendary Pokemon. So first things first, we have ourselves Volkita, which is going to be a Steel Fighting. We have ourselves Varskit, which is going to be a Steel Dark type. And we have ourselves Ulfazo, or Eufazo, however it's pronounced, going to be a Steel Ground. Now, note the common typing of Steel. I'm willing to bet that this is actually going to be a legendary trio, much like you would see like the legendary birds, the legendary lake trio, etc. I'm definitely sensing that these right here could very well be a legendary trio of Steel. Maybe they have like some night characteristics about them, you know? Like, these very well could be a Night Trio legendary Pokemon, you know what I'm saying? So, do leave your thoughts down below about that. So, coming up next, we have ourselves Equalos, which is the Titan, Fire, and Fairy Pokemon. So, I'm really curious to see what the design here in this situation is. So, next up, we have ourselves Duxarunt, which is going to be Fairy Grass. We have ourselves Cropilla, which is going to be Ice and Grass. And we have ourselves Ribera, which is going to be Rock and Grass. Now, notice how all 3 of these Pokemon have the same entry, being Royalty. And also, guys, they all share the Grass typing, so we could very well be seeing yet another legendary trio. I mean, here's the thing, it wouldn't be the first time that Game Freak had implemented multiple legendary trios before. Take a look at Generation 5. You had the legendary Genie trio, and you also had the legendary Musketeer trio. Well, technically the legendary Musketeer quartet, if you were to include Keldeo. But the thing is that Keldeo ended up having its own entry and its own story and all that stuff. So, Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me one single bit if Game Freak was to implement a concept like this. So, next up, guys, we have ourselves a Gustguard, which is a Royal Guard, a pure flying type, and last but not least, guys, we have ourselves a Seekamajai, however it's pronounced. It's got a very, very unusual name to it. Seekasmajai, I think that's how it's pronounced. It's known as the Incision Pokemon, and it's Poison and Steel. Now, we've never had a Poison Steel Pokemon before, so this is going to be a first-time type combination, and I'm really, really excited. Now, mind you, you're going to be weak to Ground-type moves by 4 times, and be weak to Fire-type moves, but other than that, you have, like, I believe, a ton of resistances, and I think an immunity to Poison as well. So, yeah, with that being said, that's pretty much going to be the conclusion here of this list. So, with that being said, guys, that's going to be it here for this video. Man, oh man, what an amazing roster we got going on here. If this right here is the actual leaked Pokedex right here, yeah, shut up and take my money. I am sold for Pokemon Sword and Shield. So, with that being said, guys, that's going to be a wrap up here. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys did, be sure to leave a like and a comment down below. Get involved in discussion, man. I would love to hear your guys' thoughts about this right here. So, with that being said, thank you guys so very much for watching. Have yourself a damn good night, and I'll see you guys in the next one.